the quarter of a year. You have to always be constantly earning rewards while you play your games is also a repercussion / result of us living in a world where we feel like we have to monetize every aspect of our lives under late stage capitalism. Like your game giving you sufficient rewards for playing it makes it feel like you're earning or working while you play your game. And again, that's one of those things where like, well, if we're in a perfect world, that's just like not a thing that exists. But like in reality, where I live, that's very much something that's happening. Snap on free squirrels on my Patriot deck. Well, now I have regrets putting Dazzler, right? I think it's just Patriot here, and then we're gonna like Iron Man into Valk over here, right? I just miss when you could buy a game and get the whole game. I know. I think when they introduced the ability to buy other content as part of your game and you didn't just get the whole game incidentally for free at the start, they really ruined gaming. And if you go back and check it, the first game that had an expansion pack where you didn't just get the whole game for free is, wait, checks notes. What do you mean? What do you mean that's been happening for literally years? I don't understand. Chat, games have been having expansions and stuff like that for literally fucking forever. And it doesn't go back to Horse Armor. Diablo 2 had expansions back in the day. We didn't call them DLC, you bought them on CDs because the internet didn't exist, but 100%, those types of games had tons of DLC. Diablo 1 has an expansion called Hellfire. That's where the monk class came from. Yep. Alright, so now it's Blarvel into Iron Man into Demon, right? And then in theory, we just go way over the top. Zephol, thank you for the victory back. A lot of people like to act like predatory stuff with video games is like the advent of a new era, when really they just optimize the things that people have been doing forever. When did Pokemon Red and Blue release, chat? That's a form of predatory monetization that still subsists into today even, right? Like you don't get to buy your whole video game. We take the whole video game and we split it in half into two colors for you. So you have to have both of them or know somebody else that has the other one to trade to get all the pocket monsters between the two of them, right? That was from 96. Yeah, so that's what, almost 30 years ago at this point? And then there's the obvious easy answer of the more modern one where people are like, I stick to my PC games because they're not predatory. And it's like, well, how many unplayed Steam games do you own that you bought on a Steam sale that you'll probably realistically never play, but you bought them because they were on sale and you felt like you were getting a deal on them? A lot? Oh, it's a lot is the answer. Got it. How many Humble Bundles do you own? Mindscape's annoying. Do I use Nico to get rid of the Mindscape? I might just scream. Thanks for the 29 months, Turf Doctor. Welcome back. Appreciate it. So normally you like wait to play out cards like Mysterio in this deck, but Mindscape on the board means I'm under more pressure to get them down. I think it's this.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna snap them. We're gonna copy the Wasp. We'll go Valk left. We'll go Valk left into second Wasp next turn. We do need to peel a Patriot or a Blarvel off the top, I suppose. Alberita, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Ooh, that's unfortunate. I think I want them to have to contest tier. I think I want them to have to contest here with reasonable stats. Order for Mystique. Yeah, good call.
I am Iron Man.
Oh, come on. That's rough. Oh, what did I give them? A Squirrel Girl and a Valkyrie? This beats Squirrel Girl Valkyrie, right? Squirrel Girl Valk Pig, I should say. I'm staying. Any honor reveal they play has to play into Mojo World, so Squirrel Girl would have to go here. I guess they could like Squirrel Girl and Valk over here, but we're still beating that, right? This Patriot is worth 7 over here, and it's worth another 4 in the middle. I think we're good despite that. In part because of Mojo World being Mojo World. Hello, toddler girl. You may have that chair, yes. But I need to pedal. Remember how you said your dad has a big belly yesterday? Pedaling makes his belly less big. I think we're just passing. With only 2 paths, I think we vibe on the Bast, because we'll probably just set up a Valk path, and then we don't need to Bast the other. Yes, Haley.
I'm so little.
You're so little, you are little.
I think. Daddy, what is it? I'll help you pedal.
Bast feels like an underrated card. I agree. Most of my favorite decks play Bast than them though, so certainly a little biased on that thought.
My hand.
Opponent snapped.
I think we have to leave. The average Storm deck is going to have plenty of ways to get into Sanctum Sanctorum, ones that are likely better than my Squirrel Girl, so with that, plus the flooding, I think we bounce. Honestly, I think one of the #1 things I'd like to see change a little bit in Snap is I think Sanctum Sanctorum and Crimson Cosmos are both locations that should have their frequency decreased. I think big, and I feel like Second Dinner kind of knows that to a degree. Like, we saw them take locations like the Milano and Plunder Castle and delete them out of the game. But a big part of what makes Storm and Professor X and Alliance such frustrating cards is the fact that the amount of times where you don't get to play to one location because of location variance is kind of a little bit too high. I'd like to see them come at that bit of location variance a little bit harder. In general, location variance is good and healthy and an important part of the game, but that aspect of this is location variance where you just don't get to play your cards out is not great. Haley girl, you can hang out and you can sit in my extra chair, but you can't be up on my desk, okay? Stay safe if you're in the Midwest or someone else that got iced over recently, gamers. A lot of slush out there. Man, super unfortunate hand for us with the TVA. Normally this deck is pretty solid into the TVA, but we've just incidentally drawn all 5 of our, or all 3 of our 5 drops. If we draw Squirrel Girl next turn, we'll get to Mystique Patriot into Squirrel Girl, which is pretty good here. But otherwise, we're in a bit of trouble for sure.
Time's up.
Those locations are there to balance out the fill this to get a huge benefit that's helped Swarm decks. I disagree with that. I think the amount of benefit you get from those locations is not comparable to the amount that the lockout locations give. Also, I'm pretty sure the fill this to get a big bonus, are those also common locations? Now you're gonna make me go look. Is White Hot Room also common? It is actually. Okay, so it's White Hot Room, and what's the other one? Raft? Those ones aren't the same rarity. I don't know. I feel like I play a meaningful game through my opponent getting the Raft and that other one, White Hot Room, more than Sanctum Sanctorum and Crimson Cosmos and stuff. Timeline is not in the remotely same realm as those other ones because the benefit it gives is not nearly the same. Sacred Timeline and Mojo World are not really that similar. Because Mojo World, you have 6 turns to fill up, and Sacred Timeline is a downside when you fill it for a lot of decks, not an upside. So it's those are not one-to-one comparisons. Yes, I also think it goes back to the type of gameplay experience that's being generated. Like, there's a big difference between things that reward you for playing your cards out and things that make it so you don't get to play the game, right?
Snap.
I got 2 into the Hotel Inferno. We've got DC for our Patriot deck. We've got Nico making the Hooded D-Man. I'm gonna go ahead and snap here, I think. Hey, Sang, thanks for the 13 months. Glad you're staying safe out there. good hits. I don't know that I agree with that. Things like Ghost Rider and Hella would have been good hits. I actually think the ones we hit were kind of mediocre. Do I do this actually to set this up to be a Valk path? That's probably the case. Nice Black Cat. To me, Black Cat is the singularly most confusing card that gets played in these Black Knight decks, because I think stuff like this happens way too frequently. Unless they're also Hella. If they have Hella, it's fine. But with Ghost Rider and Black Knight, your Black Cat ends up like downgrading your draw just way too much of the time, in my opinion.
I am Iron Man.
They burned their Shang-Chi this turn. Of all the decisions, that is one that you are allowed to make. Okay, so we'll go Dazzler. We'll go Squirrel Girl. We'll go Wasp. Actually, I think Squirrel Girl's probably worse than just Mysterioing, huh? And I can just play this here for two for funsies. Whoa, they stayed. What are they doing? They just have Hella and think it's good enough? It's a wild stay. Oh, they're unranked. Makes more sense. Haley Girl. You may sit nice on the chair, otherwise we'd have to bring you upstairs to sit with boys, okay?
Minions to me.
Zombuckles, thanks for the primer, I appreciate that.
Victory.
Well, that's like Shang inside of their Hella discard deck is a little strange, because usually you don't have time to play that on curve. Usually it's a Shang deck or a Hella deck with those, not both. The Bearded Geoff, thanks for the brand new Prime, appreciate it. Every deck is now a Shang deck. Yeah, more and more, that's definitely the case. My Basting on 1.
Hey, Daddy.
Am I gonna wait to Bast on 2? Well, do I want to play Hood on 2? I guess I kind of want to play Hood on 2. Alright, I'm gonna Bast on 1.
Daddy, can you Daddy.
Yes, baby. Do you need me to carry you upstairs? Okay, I will carry you upstairs after this game, okay?
Got pie, and I love them. They're my favorite snack to eat.
Illithig, thank you for the 10 months. This is a Destroy Gamer, yeah. So, noteworthy interaction here. Deep Space does not make cards. Deep Space does not make cards that have text get a Patriot bonus. Oh my god, they played their Killmonger proactively. That's so good for us. Holy.
Go on, Nico. Go, 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 go.
I think I might snap on that.
Yeah. Almost. My toss goes.
Do I want to snap on that? I think I want to snap on that. It's true, I am on the toilet. Their X-23 went into Deep Space as well. Yeah, seal snappable. I think it's this. I think I need to not necessarily play to Nidavellir because they're going to potentially have a really big Venom there. So I think I want to play for here and here.
Enough said, Bo.
If X-23 was in deep space when they played Killmonger and she regenerate, no. I'm playing a little bit too hard for the center. I was expecting them to have more points there. And now they just can't compete with this, right?
Victory.
All right, gamers, I'm stepping away to run the toddler upstairs. I'm gonna run the shortest of ad rolls while I do that. I'll catch you in like 30 seconds. BRB. Alright, sorry about that. For people that live outside of the Midwest, we had freezing rainstorm here for like the last 2 days, so schools and daycares have been closed yesterday and today. So Christy is upstairs with the boys, juggling some remote school. Big pandemic flashbacks. Do I want to Bast here? I'm gonna wait a turn. What's the temperature outside? The last couple of days we were in the 20s and the teens. Today we're supposed to get up to 40 though. Election level opponent here. Think I do this. Then I'm gonna snap them. We're storming the center. It's a pretty heads-up play for the opponent. Do I want to try and compete in the flooding? I would have a squirrel plus a wasp, which would give me 5 there. I'm drawing 2, so I could have Patriot plus Mystique. Patriot plus Mystique would give me another 8 there, which would get me up to 13. I think it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to contest the flooding. I'm just going to play for left and right. And we're dead. Pleasant gameplay experience. Has this deck been good? Yeah, this deck has pretty solid stats over a large sample online.
Escaped.
We had a feature on this deck over on the YouTube highlight last week before. When the Dazzler update went live, we jumped back to this one and it's been solid. Matchmaking interrupted.
This land is always changing.
Alright, probably Loki. Pillsbury Hill necessarily. Any thoughts on Darkhawk's viability after the blob nerf? I mean, I think the deck's in the same spot it has been for a little bit. Maria Hill's Scar, never mind, I put it as Cook in. I think Darkhawk is fine. I think there's probably... Actually, I don't even know. Like, it's so hard to have a beat on how much blob there is. Anecdotally, I've not played into a ton of it. But that doesn't mean it's not there. Put it as a weird amalgamation of cards. Getting their Doctor Doom with my Patriot's pretty solid for us, though. For what it's worth, even before the blob nerf, there were still Darkhawk decks with good stats. Everyone seems down on this Spotlight Cache this week. I'm pretty sure I rated the Spotlight Cache this week fairly highly. It's a good week.
Wind, aid my hand.
I think I just do this. Honestly, I might even stab them since I have their Doctor Doom.
Snap.
For playing games at higher Infinite, I've been seeing more Storm Prison than... There's definitely been a lot of Storm Prison today. It's easily been the most common thing we played against. I'm gonna gain 4 here, up to 9, and then my Doctor Doom beats their Doctor Doom, right? What if I do this? And then next turn I can Doctor Doom... Next turn, I can Doctor Doom into a demon, and they all get the Patriot bonus. I think I also want a Jessica Jones middle, so that way I'm threatening to win all of them, so Eliath is worse against us. Because there's a good chance they're an Eliath deck as well here. Well, at least we know they don't have it, and I don't need to play around it. This beats their Doctor Doom, right? Because this will be 8 power here with Patriot, and then I'm gaining 7, 12 in the middle, and I'm gaining 7 over here. So we'll lose here, we'll win here and here to their Doctor Doom. Frosty Panda, thank you for the entire year of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Welcome back. Yes, this was created by Daily Bugle that was flooded over here. So we know they also have Dr. Doom. Oh, wait. Do I lose to the Miss Marvel bonus over here? I might have lost to their Doom here because of the Miss Marvel bonus. I forgot to count that. We're beating that, though. So if they had Doctor Doomed here, they would have been... They would have been, 9... They would have been 14, right? I actually would have lost to their Doctor Doom. Because we would have been down here by 1, even with the Nebula bonus. That is, I think the opponent like outthought themselves there because they knew we had their Doom, so they were assuming we were staying in beating their Doom, but I miscounted and we weren't actually beating their Doom. Would I have won the right? Oh, these would have been -2, right? So they would have been 10. No, yeah, chat's right. Actually, we were good. We were good either way. They would have only been 15 here with Doom. Yeah. Good shout. I was thinking they would have been 12 plus 5, but no, this copied Blue Marvel. Okay, we were good then. We were good. The real winner there is no doubt the best card in the game, Nico. She's certainly up there. Lovely last net, Nico. Do we snap that? I think so, yeah. Habens, thank you for the prime, appreciate that. So I do have to think about Killmonger a little bit. I don't know that I can necessarily throw priority for that, though. We successfully just pitched priority here? I think we did. Yep. So this adds 6, 7, 8 here, putting us to 15. And it adds 2 here, so we're 15, 4, 4. So where do I want to put the demon if we're 15, 4, 4? think it's just this. Yeah, because Demon left puts Dazzler up to 6 total on the right. What's that here? All 3. If I have 7,000, should I save it or get the bundle in the shop now that they changed it? The bundle in the shop is fine. It's not a high value bundle, but it's also not a bad value bundle.
Victory.
If you are someone who's starved on collector tokens, the bundle currently in the shop is all right if you also want credits. It's like a mid amount of value for both credits and tokens. If you want only credits or only tokens, it does neither of those things particularly well. Not bad at either, but not particularly well either. I should make a Runeterra command linking to my thoughts on my Twitter thread. That one has been coming up a lot. Do people still play Runeterra? Not really, that's why they're end-of-lifing it. What would Runeterra be if there's no PvP? So Runeterra has a Slay the Spire-esque single-player mode. I wanna give context on numbers for Runeterra that give like really good insight into why the Runeterra thing happened. There's sites that farm the public numbers that games like these make on mobile, and in like the first 2.5 years that Runeterra existed, it made like, I believe it was around 20 million USD in like 2.5 years. And in comparison, Marvel Snap did over 100 million in less than a year. So just like magnitudes different. Riot essentially shared what many of us knew was likely true, that Runeterra has always been a loss leader for their company. Cards here. Do I want to punt the raft? Maybe. Let's say yes. Oof. Oof. I do not expect Marvel Snap will ever have a draft mode. I think a core part of Marvel Snap's ecosystem / function is they want players to care about the contents of their collection, and a draft mode is a game mode where people very explicitly don't have any connection to the cards that they're playing with. A big part of what keeps people invested in Marvel Snap is the split system and driving their collection level up, and when you're playing with draft cards, you're just not functioning in that. Siddle Stacks, thanks for the third of the year. I've talked about it before, but I think the #1 game mode Marvel Snap should work to add, in my opinion, is they should work to add a 2v2 game mode. Social components and elements are something that keep people playing games for a long time, and being able to play a game of Marvel Snap with a friend on your team would keep a lot of people in the game ecosystem that they otherwise wouldn't stay. I don't know what exactly 2v2 looks like. I think there's a number of ways they could implement it, and I'm not a designer, so it's not my job to design it. But I think that if you're like, Jeff, what game mode brings the most people into Snap and retains the most players, I think 2v2 is the answer to that. Yes, Brode had talked about a 2v2 prototype they made for Snap at one point. That is accurate. What are your thoughts on Tavern Brawl type system with deck construction? I think Marvel Snap's feature location system is basically we're doing a Tavern Brawl type deck building restriction rules. It's basically them trying to do that. Okay, so they're in an Eyeless deck. What if I do this fills the right, and then I Valk the middle, and then we try and peel Patriot to like double Patriot on the last turn. This may or may not be right. Or are they bouncing the left? This might be a 1-drop plus Beast on the left. Love this variant. This Valk is less good now. If I draw Patriot, I end up at 10, 14, 18 over here. That might not be enough. I think I'm gonna leave here. Draw just ended up a little clunky.
Escaped.
All right, gamers, it's about that time. I'm gonna tap the 2-minute ad break button. We'll be back in 120 seconds with some more gameplay. I think we're gonna do at least one more session with this one, and then we'll move along to another one. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. YouTube gamers, consider tapping the like button on the stream if you're over there and haven't already. BRB chat. Yes, Daily Girl. You got taken out of Daddy's office? Okay. Cool. Love you. The toddler recovered puzzle pieces in her search and needed to find the base puzzle, which I got left in my office. Thanks for the 58 months, Coots. Welcome back. The bounce action planned for today. Bounce is one of the decks that Grandmaster potentially slots into, so we're gonna wait until he goes live in 2 hours to play bounce. My youngest feeling better. Yeah, she hasn't, she stopped throwing up yesterday morning, so. Just a little congested. Grandmaster is a must-have for sure. I think must-have's probably a strong take. I think Grandmaster is probably a playable Marvel Snap card. think 12's likely enough to win the middle, so I think we pass and let the rocks blow away.
Snap.
Our opponent did nothing with Project Pegasus. I'm gonna put the real Iron Man here because this is the path I most want to Valk. And then against a Mr. Negative deck, this Mystique definitely needs to be a second Iron Man because I need two paths that need to be very large.
Iron Man.
Marvel Snap cards are must-have. I have a tier list command. November, maybe I should update one of those at some point here. They are the Darkhawk negative deck. It's this. Please no rogue. I don't believe the Darkhawk negative plays rogue. The stock list does not. The stock Darkhawk negative is playing Shang-Chi. It's not playing rogue. They are drawing... They drew 2 zeros from their deck with that Jane. I think I just play like this and play for all three. Gavardis Adam, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They could have 2 Iron Men as well. Arnim Zola also. They avoided playing for the left, understandable. The fact that they filled makes Arnim Zola less likely.
I am Iron Man.
Probably good to go here. Almost won all 3. Dribbling, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back.
Victory.
They went hard middle. I mean, to be fair, if they didn't go hard middle, they weren't going to win it, right? Like, if they put either of these here over the Ironheart, they lose the center. They could have mystiqued the Iron Man. Yeah, that's true, but that still doesn't change the outcome there, right? Did they have a way they could sequence those cards to beat what we did? I don't think so.
Opponent snapped.
Our deck's not terrible into Superflow, but their deck could be better. Oh, this is just, I have a Green Goblin stat. Crap. Our deck's actually relatively solid into the average Green Goblin deck because of Valkyrie. Could be Galactus, yeah. I don't want to fill the middle in case they hobgoblin me this turn. And if they hobgoblin me this turn, I want to play Wasp on the right, so that way I can have priority to Valk before they Galactus.
I am Iron Man.
Do you find in this deck skipping energy in the early turns like not playing Squirrel Girl? Yes, in fact, the #1 mistake I would say people make when they play this deck is that too frequently they're playing Squirrel Girl on curve early. When I posted the last deck highlight with this deck, there were a ton of comments from a bunch of people that were all confused as to how they beat Killmonger out of the Destroy decks, and the answer to beating Killmonger out of the Destroy decks is manage priority better. Stop grabbing priority proactively early. Your demons and your Squirrel Girls are generally a turn 6 play in tandem with other cards. Bast is also rarely a turn 1 play, correct. Bast is generally speaking played on turns 2 or 3. I guess we're hoping to draw Blue Marvel here.
All systems go.
Unfortunately, I think we have to leave. Without a way to put more stats into here, just gotta go. I don't retreat later super frequently, but in a spot like this where I put it could realistically be behind, I think we're supposed to. They lose to Blue Marvel almost all of the time. People don't retreat that often, but I think this is a spot where maybe it happens. The pre-rolls are killing them, something like that. Like here again, just talking about sequencing and openings, anything other than Blue Marvel and Valk rewards us for waiting on Bast. And then at this point, I'm not going to be able to wait to play this on 3, so I will play it on 2 here. I'd play Squirrel Girl proactively here to fill up to prevent them from sending Hood across. Yep, I set this up to be my Valk path. I think we just leave. I think Alliance is pretty likely. And that gets us, unfortunately. Yeah, chat, they're boomer snapping at rank 33 because at every level of Marvel Snap, that type of poor behavior generally gets rewarded. Like, one of the things I can't hammer home enough, like, something you'll hear people who play at the top of the ladder talk about a lot is like, oh, how it's really different. And the reality is, high-stakes Marvel Snap doesn't exist. And if Marvel Snap was a game that was played, you know, like, say, the World Series of Poker with hundreds of thousands and, like, lots of money on the line, everybody would be snapping very differently than you see even in high-level Marvel Snap that exists right now. Like, true high-level gameplay really isn't a thing that exists. Even at the absolute highest stakes, it's still very minimal pricing overall. The game would suck being played at the level. Maybe it would be different. I don't know that I would necessarily have a strong opinion on whether or not it would be better or worse, but it would definitely be different than the game that we all currently play. I snap all the time because I have no confidence in my gameplay until I'm obviously happy. Yeah, but that's kind of the point, right? And why those snaps are bad. Even if you're not confident in your play until the very end of the game, that doesn't mean you should be boomer snapping on the last turn. It means that you should just not be snapping to let your opponents limp in. So that way, when you obviously have them beat, maybe they give you one extra cube. I don't know. Maybe you're playing at an MMR where, like, you're doing that and you're pushing the button on the last turn and people are basically always calling you, and then it's fine. But if you're snapping on the last turn and people are retreating when you're snapping them on the last turn, that's when it's like, oh, you're making a mistake here. Now, the thing to note at this current juncture is that our opponent we're not guaranteed to have a 7th turn, despite there being the limbo. Because they are a Thanos deck. I'll do this, I think. This ends up with Squirrel here, Squirrel Mysterio here, Mysterio here. Nico's on the draw mode. Oh, I forgot about I was filling my hand with the forge. Yeah, I think I just do this to play around them, removing Limbo. And then we can Valk the middle on the last turn. No, I don't think I want to Wasp too, because I don't think I want to be fully locked in the event that they don't stone. Yeah, we kind of lose to Blob, right? Do I? I'll be at... I only have Mysterio here. They'll be at 6. I'll be at 8. Plus this. here. Yeah, I just have to go.
Escaped.
Hey, Trent Silicon, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. K the Hay, all the 11-month resubs. Good morning, good morning. And Golden Chicken, thank you for the 11 as well. Yeah, we needed a blue marble draw for sure. That could have also been right. The tension of not knowing if there was going to be a 7th rounder not hurt a lot there. Because I like had to tentatively fill when I could have waited to play Valkyrie with better information. So just the virtue of them being a Thanos deck hurt us a lot there with the conjunction of Limbo.
Oh, snap.
Push the button slightly too late. Above average Bast though. I'm gonna push the button.
Victory.
Like Big Bass, and I cannot lie. Die, buddy. Thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. That has some potential. Newer Marvel stat players. Can you believe this card used to be a 2/5? Crazy world in which we lived. Yeah, where's the Bast when you need one? Yeah, I mean... Nope. I think the current Marvel stat metagame is the best Marvel stat metagame we've had since before Loki released. It is quite good. So, under normal circumstances, I would say we should just punt the Lockjaw path that I played Hood into. However, this is a Subterranea game. So, I'm gonna go ahead and play for it, and we'll start them. Hey, thanks for the entire year, Glitchy. I do have a sword to go with your shield. Welcome back. You play Rock instead of the Demon and make that your Valk path. Yeah, but then if I'm Valking, I'm not playing the Mysterios out. I think I want to play the Mysterios out to play for every path. It's the thing. Hey, Birdsmith, thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Do I want to Nico middle and set that up as a Valkyrie path? Yeah, probably. What's going on, Ramaset? Thanks for the 14 months. Good morning, good morning. So first thing you want to try a Grandmaster. I mean, beasting him, obviously. Or using him on Beast. Bounce, baby, bounce. Not Cerebro Zero. No, not Cerebro Zero. I think I'm doing this because we're gonna go like 5 into 5, meaning I don't have room to play another Mysterio on curve. Or Mysterio in the rest of my curve here. Oh, got this morning and realized Grandmaster Valk is probably terrible. Yeah, it probably is, Crunchy. I think you have a hard time fully winning the one path you're in. Grandmaster could maybe be an okay destroy tool. Maybe you have to already have like a lot of your setup pieces in hand. And like destroy decks are already not playing Deathlock, so I'm not sure they really need another destroy enabler. Yeah, so the 3 Grandmaster things I think I really want to try out are the first is I want to try out the first Grandmaster thing I want to try out is what's his name? Beast. And then there's also Storm, and then the Rock Slide Dark Hawk package. Not Moon Girl. But Grandmaster doesn't have any synergy with any decks playing Moon Girl. Which drops are live. New set of Twitch drops. 350 credits, a premium mystery variant, i.e. guaranteed not to be a pixel. Patriot or Blue Marvel being on top of our deck would both be very good for us here, so I don't think we're just dead to this leech. We've got 50% of our draws are strong here.
I am inevitable.
Order! Jeff, order! You didn't play Mystique after Patriot! Mystique is leech chat. The order doesn't matter. Yeah, she does at least get 2 points of power, that's true. The fact that they have Lockjaw in the middle could be our saving grace. They do get a card at random out of their deck. I am going to 14, so they need a 9 power thing middle.
Victory.
Looks like chat or people in chat are saying Grandmaster must move the card in order to reactivate it, so you can't play it middle to re-trigger it. Is there a team answers question? Did Glenn Jones or someone confirm that? Chat has a lot of certainty, so it sounds like it could go either way. I would appreciate a reference to a source on that one. Hey, Game Nerd, thank you for the brand new Prime, by the way. There's a ton of great people you could drop that off at every month. Thanks for using it here this month. I think we're just passing. Now, fun fact, Bast overrides Quantum Realm. The classic Iron Lad Martyr deck. News, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. Gay Blog, thank you for the quarter of a year. Definitely a snap here. Shiggity Shrek, get fucking wrecked.
Victory.
Oh, that's oh, Wanda. Oh, Wanda.